So, welcome to Don't Follow the Shepherd. I have Shanit Barr with me today. She is a fitness guru, as far as I'm concerned. And the reason I say that is because you have to have done a lot of work in the fitness industry to appreciate that the work-life balance is an important consideration. There's a lot of fitness people on Instagram and different platforms, and they're working hard and they look great, but I'm not sure they entirely understand how to keep people in a sustainable program. So, but first, I want to let her introduce herself, a bit about her background in Brooklyn. She's from Brooklyn. I lived in Saratoga Springs when I was in college, but that's as close as I really was to New York City. But tell us a bit about yourself, and thank you for.
I actually grew up in a fitness family, and my mother was a gym teacher. My aunt was actually a competitive bodybuilder, was always in muscle and fitness, and she had calendars. She was a body glove fitness model. So I had role models growing up, but I also had unbelievable amounts of food in my home. Every meal is like Thanksgiving. It doesn't matter if it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So there was always like that kind of in between, like, should I gobble up food? Should I work out? And I had to kind of find my way with fitness and proper eating over the last, 20 or 30 years. So I initially just loved working out. I discovered it mostly after I put on the freshman 15. But growing up, I went with my mom on the weekends to work out sometimes. My aunt used to train me at Gold's Gym. I was a gymnast for 12 years. I was a ballerina. Music and dance always came very naturally to me. But it was music where I put most of my heart and soul in for most of my life. And it just seemed like nothing really clicked in that world. Like everybody told me I was talented and that I had stage presence and all of that. But it wasn't until I made a decision to become a personal trainer that huge doors opened for me. I was hired at the Reebok Sports Club, and within 2 weeks, I became the top selling personal trainer out of 72 trainers. Within 5 months, I became the number one trainer at Reebok Sports Club nationally. So that's out of three or four clubs, each club holding about 70 trainers. So I'm a big believer in your destiny is your destiny. And this was clearly my destiny because I hit the ground running. And in my individual club, I was the top trainer, the top one, number two trainer for 11 years. And even when Equinox took over, I closed my first year at Equinox, even though I did things a little different than they had preferred. They let me kind of have the reins in the way I want to train because they do mostly periodization. I do not do periodization. I know that people kind of look down on that, trainers that like to change it up all the time. But the reason Equinox always let me do what I wanted was because I had the highest retention rate in the company and I had a wait list, and no other female was in the top five. And nobody could honestly dethrone me. Even on vacation, I was in the top five. So I kind of got my bearings, and part of the reason that I'm able to be very flexible and very creative was at the age of 29, I tore my ACL from a bad fall, actually both. And four doctors told me I needed to get surgery, and I refused to get surgery because I knew I could rehab myself. I did everything they told me not to do, but and some things they told me to do. I did foam rolling, I did rehabilitation exercises that I learned along the way. I took tons of like anti-inflammatory, and I iced. So I did all the things, what didn't hurt, what did hurt, what didn't hurt, for a couple years, and I'm actually in peak health right now. But gave birth to this kind of mentality and these kinds of exercises, that is, no matter what, work with what you've got. So if your one part of your body hurts, try to figure out how to work out with the other part of your body. And that's a part of the reason that my clients stay with me. They stay with me because they know that no matter how they show up, I will always cater it based on what they need energetically and what they need physically. And that's where I am today. I went off on my own during COVID when I saw how wonderful it is to work for yourself. And I still a member at Equinox. And God, it's the best decision I ever made. So here I am.
It's so funny you say that because I was thinking as you were talking, you know, when you work for an organization and you're under such stress or duress, now it's a little different when you're already in the fitness industry, but the notion of treating your body like a temple, most of us wait and make it kind of a second priority or a tertiary priority. Like, oh, I got to go to the gym. Like that should be your first thought. And if your life is if your work is dictating how you spend your time and is limiting your ability to take care of yourself, and when I say take care of yourself, I'm just thinking self-care in terms of nutrition and fitness, etc. Like I did everything back asswards and I was stressed out, but working for myself, God bless working for yourself. I'm glad that's an option in this country
Yeah,
because
game changer.
it radically changes your mindset. You seem like you
Yes.
were already, you already had a positive mindset and were really kind of embracing what was in front of you, but and you took advantage of kind of a post-COVID opportunity to do remote training, but maybe you could talk a little bit about how few people prioritize, and then maybe they get a sick, they get a health, they get an illness, and then they decide, okay, now I'm going to start working out. And really, preventive health is so important. And how do you get people to prioritize this stuff, whether they're your clients or not?
I can only do so much, right? But I do harp on it with my clients. Um, I kind of try to show them the importance of your body being healthy, and in terms of okay, well, you wake up and you don't feel 100%. Do you not go to work? You go to work. Why? Because money is important. Well, people have to place the same concepts to your physical health, because you don't want to wait till it's too late to turn around and be like, oh, I got to catch up. No, you have to treat your body the same way you treat your job. It is part of everyday life. You need it to exist. You need it as a foundation. You need it to live the life that you want to live. Just like money, which is tangible, health should be tangible. I mean, you can't hold on to it, but you can feel it. And unfortunately, you can't. You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make that horse drink. And some of my clients learn that the hard way, and some of them kind of adapt along the way. Most of the time, I'm successful. For example, I had a client that only worked out with me at night. And when she was during COVID, it was very easy for her to be consistent. However, um, when the office jobs kind of opened, she had to go back in. She was always missing. She was always missing these jobs, and she was always missing the sessions. So I said to her, "Look, you need to work out. This is not. It's not like non-negotiable. You're not 15 years old and you just want to like look cute for the ball. Like that's not what it is. This is you need it to live. You want to be on this earth for your children, for your family. You want to be able to physically go to work. There's only one way to do it. You have to prioritize it like you prioritize your children, like you prioritize your husband and your family. You are also somebody that should matter." And I told her she has to wake up at 6:30 in the morning twice a week. 3 times a week. And that's really the only way that she was going to be able to commit. And she was like, well, but I'm not really a morning person, and I don't really think I can, I'm not going to be as alert. I'm going to be tired. I said, and you're telling me that after a long day of work, if for the sessions that you make it, you're not tired? She goes, that's a good point. So from then on, we almost always have our sessions. So she was able to be consistent with that little mindset. So mindset is important. You always have to figure out like, how you're going to do it, what way you're going to do it, how can you even tricky. Sometimes I used to like I used to work when I was in the music business. I used to work like long hours, sometimes get home at like 4 or 5 in the morning, but I always committed to working out no matter what. So certain mornings I used to just roll over the bed until I got on the floor, and then once I was on the floor I said, okay, I'll get up, or I put my cell phone all the way on the other side of the room. So if once I get up, then I realize, okay, here I am.
Yeah, I mean, it's not until I started forcing myself to go when I didn't feel like it to the gym that I realized, wow, I had made a it was a milestone. I mean, because I played hockey, I played different sports. I you know, you're afraid of the punishment, but when you're motivating yourself, that's a whole nother ball game. And so I'm proud of myself that I've gotten to the point where there's a bar class focus, say, on cardio or some strength training, and then I want to go to the gym afterwards. Like, I may not really feel like it, but I know that I have to go. And like my mindset around wellness has just changed dramatically. Do you find that you get to know your clients pretty well? Are you playing therapist and coach too much, or do you? How does that?
No, I try not to be. When I was green, when I was first starting out, it was a little too much. My clients are working and we chat, but if I see that the chat is taking away from their focus, we stop chatting. If they want to take me out to dinner, no problem. Tell me when, I'll throw my boots on. But but I am not that person. Like I want my clients to achieve their goals. I want my clients to feel sexy and feel strong, and I want them to have value in what we do. So they want a friend, they can have me as a friend. Sure, they can. My clients know that they can text me no matter what. Restaurant recommendation, best clothes to buy, whatever. My clients know that I'm available to them. But during the session, that focus needs to be on your form. You have to focus on what you're doing when you're doing it. It needs to be mind body connection. If your body is disconnected from your mind, you're not going to get the same results. So I tell them, for example, a lot of people just do the bicep curls like this. You can watch them in the gym. They're going to be doing that till they're 180 years old, and they'll never get a single muscle. But even a ballerina, look at the ballerinas. They do body weight. They use their own bodies. They know how to elongate. They know how to, like, I can just curl without any weight. And if I did that, if I, let's say I just did that, I would get definition. I would get it. So um, if you're all over the place, you're not going to get that mind body connection. And then you're not going to get those results.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Well, first I want to ask you, do you are your clients men and women? Is it half and half? Is it only women?
It's mostly women.
Okay.
Men can't really handle what I dish out typically. And if a guy really wants to get an ass whooping, he doesn't want to be pushed around by a 5 to 100 pound girl like me. You know, he wants like one of these like muscle guys, like, here, you throw the. No, that's not me. I did have a lot of male clients and they had amazing results, but I just feel like women, because of societal pressures, I feel like women work harder, they're more consistent, they place more value on showing up, as opposed to like men. Like, men can get away with a little bit less, right? That's just the way society is. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm the only guy in my bar class, and
yeah,
my insecurity is more about competing with men. So when I'm the only guy in the class, my ego kind of falls away. And the women often beat me out on many things. I mean, bar is tough,
it's
but
very tough.
the beauty of it is that if I wasn't stretching and doing all those things, I wouldn't benefit in the weight training programs.
Of course.
And I don't think I mean, men should be in a bar class and working, like they should be doing something, because you'll see men who are just lifting and it's kind of crazy to me, but it is what it is.
It's well, working out is personal, right? So it's wherever people feel they're comfortable. Maybe there are guys that want to be in a bar class, they want to try a bar class, but they're not comfortable enough in their masculinity. So it really just working out is a personal thing. I I really miss bar actually from being a ballerina, but I do mostly hit training, like high intensity interval training, and that's basically what I do with my clients.
Now, do you also have like do you do any yoga or spiritual stuff? It's not that you need it, but I'm just curious.
I don't do yoga because I'm hypermobile.
Oh, okay.
So I do stretches on my own, but it's very dangerous to do yoga if you're hypermobile because what everybody feels when they're doing rotations and different things, somebody that's hypermobile is not going to feel that, but your body can only go so far. So I got injured a couple times, and after that, I didn't do it. But there was a point in which I really was considering being a teacher because I did love the spiritual aspect, and I'm big on the spiritual aspect in life. You need to connect to that higher power, whatever that means to you, in order like to really appreciate what's around you. So I teach that with my clients. I share personal affirmations. Like I love listening to Bob Baker, Jason Stevenson. Deepak Chopra was like kind of my first step towards my spirituality, and I started listening to his audiobooks. Um, but I can't live without that component. It allows you to kind of be very centered.
Fitness being in your family, is it uh, how do you guys talk about it frequently, or is it just kind of part of the culture?
Nobody really talks about it. My mom wishes that my father would do more on the gym, but my father is a naturally muscular guy. I mean, he was in the Secret Service. He was in the Army, and he looks amazing. So he doesn't really. She doesn't understand. She's like, why does he? He doesn't do anything, and he looks like he looks like Rocky. But no, they just go to tennis together. Or my mom does hit training. She does a power walk 3 times a week, so she's always on the go. And my aunt, who's now living in North Carolina, their whole family just goes to the gym and does strength training. So I don't really think that we talk about it. They just ask me what I do to look the way I do, and I tell them or what I eat, and I we just discuss it, and that's it. But
Yeah,
it's
I was
not
gonna
like
ask you,
major discussion typically.
how much of your consulting is nutrition? Do you
When I
go
work,
ahead. Sorry.
when I start with a new client, I ask them to do a 3 day food log.
Mm.
And why do I ask them to do a 3 day food log? Because you want to understand what the client wants to eat. You don't want to come at a new client or come at somebody that is struggling with their body image and their food choices and say, you have to eat this, even though it sucks. No, you want to see what you're starting with. I always tell them, tell me what you like, tell me what you love, tell me what you don't like, and tell me what you can't live without. And based on that and their 3 day food log, I will share with them some suggestions that will help them create a consistent way of life around behavioral patterns and food. So I'm not very strict. I don't believe in anything strict. I mean, if I want something, I have it. And I think that moderation is key. But you also have to balance out, your physical activity, like if so. I wouldn't say that I talk to my clients that much. If I see that it's taking over the session, then I just ask them to call me after the session because, again, I need them to focus on the muscles that we're working.
Do you do you find that any of your women clients are insecure because you're in such great shape? I mean, how does that dynamic work out? Perhaps it's an awkward question, but I'd be
It's
fascinated.
not.
Okay.
It's not. So my female clients get inspired because I'm in such good shape and because I eat and have a great life. I've mastered that balance. The people that get intimidated are actually the clients that get referred to me, that go to my Instagram or see pictures of me. They're the ones that get intimidated to start with me because they're competing. But I'm here. I'm here as a teacher. I'm here to get you to where you need to go. I should set an example. And granted, insecurities are present in all of us, but those clients, I don't think are the ones that get the results. I mean, they're the ones that start and don't stop. Somebody that was really, really serious about getting in shape and like reaching their potential would want to be with somebody that is at a certain level. So it's just about those ones that are like, oh, I don't know, I'd feel so bad about myself if I trained with her. But I've had people that took their time to get to me, and then when they did, they 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 changed and they flourished. They became like my beautiful swans.
Wow. It's speaking of beautiful, it's beautiful that you take such pride in um seeing the progress in your clients. I mean, I assume most trainers do, but there's something very authentic that comes across about how you feel about helping your clients.
I love it. I really love it. I mean,
Yeah.
they're beautiful. You know, we all have our world of insecurities, right? And if I can be a part of kind of peeling the onion and allowing somebody to shine and love themselves, um, God, that is the greatest gift. So I did it for myself, and I had teachers along the way as well, and it's a gift to share.
Um, when you travel, uh, are you do you do you make sure that you pick a place where you're going to be able to obviously work out, or I mean, does that go into your
Depends.
okay?
So you've seen my Instagram, so you know that I'm very, very big in the EDM dance scene. So usually when I travel, I don't exercise because I go out dancing like for hours, and it's quite an exercise. So that's how I travel typically. Um, and I don't like to go away longer than about 5 days. So 4 nights, 5 nights, that's it. I People think I'm like a little cuckoo, but I really do miss my job. I start missing my job after day 5, and I just want to go home, and I want to go to the gym, and I want to be, in my workout place. But yeah, vacation. I used to work out on vacation. Maybe if I was going on vacation and it wasn't kind of like Ibiza or Mykonos or Bali or one of those places where day and night you're dancing and celebrating life. But I learned to kind of let that go, and even like a power walk is nice. But yeah, I just like that differentiation. Even during my during the week and my weekend, they're very different. So during the week, I don't touch alcohol. I try to eat my dinner by 6 p.m. I go to bed around 9, 10 o'clock. I wake up early. I work out 5 to 6 days a week, and on the weekends, I don't sometimes I don't have dinner till 9, 10 o'clock. I go out, I come home at 5, I sleep, I rest, I have a late workout. If I want dessert, if I want a burger, if I want to eat, if I want pasta, I have it. Reset Sunday night, back into the week.
Wow. You know, it's when you do you find yourself, I mean, it's kind of another perhaps strange question. Your community of friends, your inner circle, are they all pretty fit people? How does that
Yes,
engage?
they
Okay.
are. They are. They love to work out. My friends love to work out.
So you're kind of I assume most trainers, many of their friendship circles are other trainers. Like it'd be odd to have people who are not into self-care because you just wouldn't have as much in common, I would think.
It's a mindset, really. It's a health mindset. And um we flock together. That doesn't mean that we're all the same. I don't really have like trainer friends per se, but all my girlfriends work out and love it. And I think it's that trainer mindset, right? So feel good, love life, balance, spirituality, connection, joy. That kind of falls hand in hand with a positive mindset. And you can't really, if you have all of these things going for you and you've reached this beautiful balance in your life, if you bring somebody in and they're not that, it's just gonna create like a
Tension.
negativity and a rot in your life. You ever see that picture of like you know like if one strawberry in a container is rotting and you put it in with the healthy strawberry, all of them will rot. So energetically, it's the same. You always want people in your circle that will elevate you and or enhance or complement you in a way. Obviously, we all have bad days, right? And that's normal. But bad days are bad days and mindset is a completely different thing.
Well,
Mindset you can control.
it is interesting because I guess it is very much like people who uh, are either in therapy or coaching, some psychodynamic therapy, for example. They heal their unresolved traumas and then they push people away or they gravitate away from some of the toxic influences in their life.
That's
And if
right.
you're in, I never really thought about it. If you're in a group, a circle of friends who, are cognizant of health and then someone else isn't, that bad influence is interesting. It's like the other day it, at this place where I go to work out, this shopping center or strip mall, whatever it is. Um, there's a smoke shop right next to the GNC store. I know the owner of the GNC, but it's really weird because to juxtapose it to, I see these guys it's the old school patriarchy, I suppose. I don't know, but they're just sitting there smoking cigars, and I'm thinking, wow, 2025, what couldn't be worse for you? Why is that cool? When you're like over, middle-aged men sitting there smoking cigars. And then I walk way away from the smoke so that I can get to the GNC store. It's just kind of funny to me, but it is what it is. I,
Wow. Yeah, that's quite a dynamic.
I didn't know smoke shops still existed. I was going to say one other thing. So I saw a meme that you posted somewhere about people living to like 100 potentially. Like your life is not over at 50 or whatever. And people talk about that way. And like there was something poignant you said. Do you remember that post?
I do. I
Okay.
do. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, it was just very it was inspiring because life is not over at 50.
Life is not over till life is over. The
Right.
end. So I don't know who decided that you can't have fun at a certain age, that you can't go out at a certain age, that you can't feel sexy at a certain age, that you can't be strong and cool. Like I don't know who put on these little limitations on our lives, but they can have it for their lives. We are living till what, 100, over 100 now. Maybe those limitations were put on people when the life expectancy was between 60 and 78, but average life expectancy is going up the more we take better care of ourselves. And why should you just stay at home? Why, what if you miss music, if you miss dancing? My girlfriend, her 95-year-old grandfather, when he was like, a week before he passed, he said, baby girl, I miss the club. And how heartwarming is that? How heartwarming is that? um but also sad, like what was stopping you all this time? I mean, maybe you're not going to go to, a place where everybody's 19, but there are places for everybody to enjoy life. Find where you're comfortable. Just like fitness, right? It's all personal. You don't need to stay home and just let the years go by. That's not going to give you life. We're here living. We don't know what tomorrow will bring. I had a girlfriend who this was actually a life-changing experience for me. um, During COVID, my girlfriend's cousin, she went to bed at 21 years old. in college. She wasn't feeling well and never woke up. And imagine, imagine that. Imagine that. We don't know from one day to the next what tomorrow's going to bring. So tell the ones in your life that you love them. Look around when you're walking down the street and see the beauty, the little things. Be thankful, enjoy, because you don't want to have regrets. We're out here walking around like we have all the time in the world, but nobody knows when that time is up for us. And I think that that's very important to remember, that we're only here a short while. And the more we live, the more we live. The more we appreciate, the more we laugh, the better we take care of ourselves, the more our lives have quality, and the younger we are. And I was talking to, like, somebody said, "Oh, yeah, you have so much energy and all this." Yes, I do have a lot of energy, but I think, and I look young. And I think that what keeps people looking young is if you look at the light behind a child's eyes versus somebody that's like older, right? Like it could even be somebody in their like 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Children have this light, this enthusiasm behind their eyes. They look around, everything is exciting, everything is fresh. Why can't we hold on to that? You hold on to that, and that colors all of your life. It rejuvenates your cells. It showers people with your light. And I think that that's one of the driving forces behind, my work life balance, and why people kind of flock to me in terms of as a trainer or in any aspect of life. It's just something that needs to be taught. It's not over. No matter how old you are, find the light and dance in it.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Do you want to share links, website, anything in particular so people can connect with you?
Well, I have my Instagram page, and I'm reachable through that. It is Shanit, spelled Shanit underscore bottoms up fit, BOTTOMS up fit. And the name came because bottoms up is like a celebration, and everybody comes to me to get a great ass. So
Ah, okay.
so that's where the name came up. And and it's also cute if you kind of make it into acronyms. It's
The
buff, BUF.
the marketer in me wants you to put that tagline on your Instagram, so it's a little more overt. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but that's up to you. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
I hope to
you.
have you back on, and you can share kind of new updates with clients and your wisdom. I really appreciate it. So thank you for joining us.
And thank you for having me. Have a beautiful and blessed day.
You're welcome.